there, folks. Happy Wednesday. How is everybody doing today? We're already in November, having a tough time with that. But super stoked to have Nicole Caroline jumping on. We are going to talk, she's obviously a very successful master celebrity esthetician, but we're gonna talk not skincare, but way deeper than that. And I'm super excited. So let's see, I think she just jumped on. Very, very well known in the industry. Let's see, is she able to get on? There she is.
Hi.
Hi, my love. How are you?
Hi, my beautiful. Let me just make this louder. Sorry.
Make it nice and loud. Are you in your office right now?
I'm in my office. I'm in the middle of my day, my client day, my work day, my everything day. Yep. Can I just say really quickly, I'm appreciating the hair, Miss Coscarelli.
Thanks, girlfriend. You know, I'm just doing my thing these days. I'm just going crazy.
Love it.
Yeah.
Well, it deserves applause. Crazy is the way to do it. I love it.
Speaking of crazy, we are going to have a really awesome, crazy deep dive that I feel like this topic does not get discussed nearly enough. But before we get into it, I do want to introduce who you are. You're a very good friend of mine, Nicole Caroline. She is a master celebrity esthetician. You've been in the business for well over 20 years. You have celebrity clients. You're on Access Hollywood. The list can go on, but I feel like you're not only incredibly intelligent with your respective industry, but people just love being around you. You have that energy. You're always taking care of others. It's why all of us love you so much on the West Coast when you live here.
Thank you.
So thank you for joining. I know you're so busy, so I appreciate you making the time today.
I appreciate you having me here to discuss some stuff. I appreciate it beyond, and the same goes for you. So
yeah, thank you, baby.
Mutual respect.
Yeah, mutual respect, because we have worked really hard to get to our own respective industries. And, you know, we've had you on before. I think you were my very first Women Crush Wednesday guest.
Yes.
So I loved being able to launch this series with you because you've been in the game as a businesswoman, and it's been so cool to watch your career just totally like skyrocket. You know, you have a lot of very well-known clients, and you're just really knowledgeable about your particular industry. But what I appreciated that you did today, you want to have a conversation, and we will get into skincare because of course we have to with someone who's as knowledgeable as Nicole, but you wanted to talk something that I don't think gets enough discussion, which is the conversation about ADHD. Attention deficit hyper disorder. I'm not even sure if I said that correctly. But I feel so seen by you wanting to have that conversation, because trying to keep it all together with what is a difficult dynamic in terms of having ADHD is really challenging. So why for you was this something that was important to talk about?
Thank you for that. And you know, I just think that as a whole, to do my skincare business, it just affects so much of my life. So a super quick backstory. Yay, my lady ADHD is on. So just a super quick backstory. So I started my skincare business about 4 years ago. It was your first Woman Crush Wednesday, right? And you know, a lot has happened since then. And my life has taken on, I've become a mom to an amazing 7-year-old, and my life has just taken on a lot more responsibility. And in that responsibility and in that time crunch and in that, I sort of started to feel super overwhelmed in, you know, a very relatable way, I would say, to most moms, to most working moms, to most moms in general, to most women, to people in general right now, right? Human beings, okay? And I started kind of noticing some things in my son when he was about 3 or 4, and noticing some things about myself as a mom that I kind of would say, you know, this shouldn't be this hard. You know, I didn't have the business yet. I didn't have, you know, and I would just kind of say, this shouldn't be this hard. And what's going on? Maybe there's something going on with him, not really knowing there was always something going on with myself. But I mean, I was 40 years old at the time and had just developed things about my personality that I thought were things about my personality. And I took my son to be evaluated, which was a little tricky. He was only 3.5, 4 years old at the time. And I will never forget it. The doctor kind of sat down with me and I was talking about, and we were late, of course, and I was overwhelmed and I was rushing and I looked like I just got out of a battle, and I was like, you know, I'm so sorry, like the guilt and the apology and the is so deep, and I was so sorry. And she was like, it's okay, sit down, like, let's talk. We started talking about him a bit, and then all of a sudden she was like, she started asking me questions about myself. And she turned to me and said, have you ever been evaluated? And I said, no. I said, you know, I'm sure that, you know, there's some stuff. And I just kind of brushed it off the way, you know, we all kind of have a little ADHD in us, or we all kind of have a little, you know, in a time. And she was like, no, I want to have a serious conversation about this and kind of go through it. And I was like, oh, wow. Okay. And we wound up doing that. And yeah, I was diagnosed. I saw her 2 more times and I was fully diagnosed, and it was this wash and wave of relief and of my whole entire life all of a sudden making sense in that one piece of knowledge that she had given me about myself. I mean, I don't even think diagnosis is the correct term for what this is. I think it's just a piece of knowledge that you begin to acquire about yourself and how you operate and how your brain works and all of this stuff that I'm still working through with my son. And I don't think these conversations, I mean, suffered is not the right word, but you know, I suffered in silence because I didn't think it was something. I just thought there were things about me that, you know, why I couldn't function in society was because of me and how I was and why I couldn't get it together. Maybe I was lazy, or maybe I was this or that, or, you know. And she turned around and was like, you're running this, I just started my business at the time. She was like, you're running this very successful business, being a mom, doing all these things, and you're able to hyper focus on that. And you're able to, you know, and she kind of broke it down into these little pockets. And I was just amazed at how it had developed. And I wasn't lazy, and I wasn't a complete disaster area. And I just couldn't do it in the way society demanded of me. And that revelation changed my entire life,
Yeah, I love what you're saying. First of all, thank you for using this platform to talk about something very vulnerably and transparent, right? Like, I just want to let everybody know she had an opportunity to talk about her skincare company, and her skincare company is doing very, very well. But you came on here to talk about you, the human. And oof, man, that gives me goosebumps, because what you had said in that answer, which was, it was finally like putting a puzzle back together. As a broadcaster, it wasn't until I saw Carson Daly years ago on the Today Show say he struggled with anxiety, did I then look up anxiety and then go, oh, that's what this is. Gotcha. Because in my mind, everybody in my head in broadcast just, you know, goes out the night before, has a really good time, and then shows up to work and they're happy. And I'm like, I can't do that. I have to go home at 8. I have to study. And I'm just saying, I reflect to you that people might be watching, especially women, that feel like they have to have everything together. They can't speak up. They can't ask for help, because then you feel like you failed. And then everybody's just going to know you're a failure and then forget it.
Or even, and you as yourself kind of feel like a failure. I mean, you know, I feel like it's a twofold part of, you know, the judgment from people, and then the judgment upon yourself of like, why can't I do this? Like, why can't I function, you know? And it's not until you start learning more about it and learning about the little intricacies, little things like keeping cabinet doors open, or, you know, I remember the fights with my mother when I, like, can't you just close that? Like, what's so hard about, I don't know, but I know that my brain doesn't see it. Like, and now I know why, and now I it just puts the little pieces together, and we as women and as humans, whatever, take on so much. And I feel like the bar is set so high now for, and it's a wonderful thing because there's so many opportunities out there, but the risk for burnout is definitely real. And all the stuff that we put upon ourselves. And for me, it was just figuring out how to be a good mom. What I always would get with Harrison too was, okay, so he needs structure, right? He needs structure. How in the world can a woman who can't structure herself structure her child? And that was what's always hard for me. That was the biggest thing for me. Like, I can't give him what he needs, or I can't give my business what it needs. Like, a business needs structure, but and you have to put these things in place. And I felt like I was failing him. I felt, because he needed these things from a structured parent that I couldn't provide for him, and I had to figure out how to get myself right. And this is what also spurred the journey, and the whole other revelation of why I did everything I did the way I did it my whole entire life. All of a sudden made sense, and I'm still working through it, and it's still a work in progress. And we can talk. And then there's the question of medication, and there's the question of all these other things that are available to us. What's right, what's wrong, what's the best path to choose. It's really a lot more in depth than I think people think. And I think that's what I want people to understand from this conversation, is that if we let go of the judgment and just understand that brains and are designed to work differently, but also some need a little more things than others. Yeah, we're all different, but society still demands everyone kind of perform the same way.
Yeah. It was interesting. Bill Maher did a segment, and he talked about how women or girls do so much better in school, and how boys, because they're a little bit more rambunctious and they can't sit still, how school is not designed for boys. But we blame boys. Yep. We say boys are the problem, and we don't say school is the problem. Maybe we should curate school towards a more boy central type, right? Or like figure out how to do that rather than blame the individual.
Exactly. That is so exactly what it should be. And I think what is kind of happening to a degree, and I see it in my son's school, and he's in a public school, and I see it way more, about treating is the wrong word, but about nurturing the individual. And it's very nice to see. And it's nice to see the teachers look at the children as people and as individuals. And I do see a little bit more of that than I think was even around 5 years ago, when he first started like a 2s program or a 3s program, and I feel like when I was in school, that was I forgot a textbook. We were on the phone at 9:00 at night with, a friend of mine's mother who had to read off the homework from the textbook because I forgot my textbooks at school every day. And just things that was like, Nicole's not living up to her potential. Nicole is just all these things that if they just would have put some other things in place, and, to no offense, it wasn't a thing then. Girls didn't have it. Girls didn't get it. I wasn't jumping out of my seat. I just truly didn't. I couldn't operate in the same executive operations that school needed me to. And then I just was, I went from being gifted to being, needing outside tutoring and needing help. And it was like, why didn't anybody ever make put the 2 and 2 together? Because they didn't, and it didn't exist, right? I feel like a lot of 30 and 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds even, are kind of dealing with this now. And it's that thing as an adult where you go, oh my God, it wasn't me all the time. It wasn't me.
Yes. I was just going to say that, like, we grow up our whole lives, because whether it's ADHD or I have some ADD, I'm not good enough to know, like, specifically what my nuance is, but I know what I felt when I was young, that I was the problem, right? That I was the issue, and that I was the kid that, like, couldn't. Speaking of which, not focusing. Sorry, my social media apps put me on a time constraint. They're like, you've been using it too long. It's fine. We're good. But anyways, it just
Great.
goes, it's like
You put
what
a plan
I
in
need
place.
to do.
Exactly. I love it.
Yes.
Exactly.
It's what I need
that's
to do.
one of your, yes, that is one of yours that you put in place. I love it. I love it. Listen, just like I need to keep my cleansers out, you know, for skincare, for things, I need to keep all my stuff out. If I don't keep it out and it goes away, and I tell, you know, everybody that works with me has to understand, why can't we put this stuff away? Because I will never remember it exists, because that is how I need to operate. It's just, oh, I guess I must be add a cleanser. No, it's right here. I just need to.
I have never felt more seen in my life. I wanted to ask you, since we're there now, how do you, how have you, like, not fixed it, because it's kind of like forever our adaptation into like knowing who we are and how we handle things. What's worked for you now that you've kind of discovered this?
Oh, so I think I'm still in the process of, one of the biggest things I think for me has been getting the people in my life to see this and to, you know, accept that it wasn't always me, and to kind of, you know, have them respect my boundaries and my kind, almost what I need. I'm almost fighting for, in a weird way, the acceptance of it in a way. So trying to find things. So I haven't gone the whole medication route yet, and I haven't, you know, and I've spoken about it. I am a little nervous. Just, there's different things when it comes to being older and taking things, and, you know, there's just different, and I want to make sure I have all the information before, you know, not to say that not down the road is where I'm going to end up, but I have honestly been doing a lot of, you know, naturopathic type stuff. I've been adding more vitamin B to my diet. I've been adding more folic acid. You know what I mean? Things like that. I've tried lion's mane and all the mushrooms and all the things. And I needed to see a little bit more from them. But one thing that has actually been life-changing for me, obviously working out, I need to be better at it because I need systems put in place to do it. So, but ice baths and ice cold showers. The ice, and I know that we've kind of spoken about the whole, you know, the benefits of obviously icing, which is why I love it so much. But this really wasn't related until I looked it up. I always used icing in skincare, right? And it was always part because it's so good for the skin, but it's also so wonderful at regulating your nervous system. And it's so wonderful, you know, so I will literally ice in the morning, ice my face, right? And then I will, when I take a shower in the morning, do the ice cold water for 30 seconds. And it's life changing, even if you just let it run on your legs.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's life changing. And it sounds like something that's so, you know, simple. And it really made such a difference in, my ability to get through the day without being, because our brains are working overtime, right? Like our brains are on that hyper focus. Am I pausing?
You're fine. You're
me?
a little
Can you hear me?
pixelated, but you're good.
Okay.
Well,
it's our brains.
Yeah. Thank you. And, you know, I think someone had wrote yoga, exercise. Those are all good modalities as well. Meditation has been helpful for me.
Yeah.
Because what
Absolutely.
happens is, and we name dropped Lady ADHD, who's a great follow too, by the way. But her page is very funny because for people like us, and even my girlfriend Clody, who is another high achieving female, she's an ER doctor based in Austin.
Clody, yeah.
Clody, yes, you know Clody, yeah. We all feel seen because we will go, people at home, we will go into the kitchen to get a knife, and then we'll see a vitamin bottle that's maybe half empty, and we're like, oh, I need to go fill it. So don't get said kitchen knife or whatever. And then we go, and then it becomes a freaking spiral of just looping, right? Isn't that how it is for you?
Absolutely. It's exhausting, and like just about being seen, right? And feeling heard, and you know, those little things of like, or like, I love to vacuum, but like I can't get the stuff off the floor that needs to be cleared before I vacuum. Like it's all this, Yeah, it's like, it's people are like, oh, like, why can't you put this away, or put, no, it's not that, and it's not that you can't, it's that you don't see it. Your brain doesn't see it. Or like texting people back, or texting, like, it's the anxiety of, this is going to evolve into a conversation that if I get sidetracked from, other people might be able to get back on track. I can't. My whole entire timeline that I have for myself, it will be gone. And I've said that to people. I've literally explained that to everyone in my life that loves me and that I love that, like, because I want people to understand who don't understand what this is like and what this feels like, that nothing is done with the intentionality or the purpose of what other people may see. You know, and we develop very good masks. We get very good at masking when we don't know the diagnosis, and we get very good at pretending we are just like everybody else, you know. And I think that letting down those masks and letting down those guards and being like, oh, like, I actually had my mom, who lives with us now. Yeah, my mom lives with us, and she's wonderful and helps so much with everything. And she finally said to me, and I'm 43 years old, and she looked at me one day, and she just saw, and it was busy, and Harrison needed me, and there was just a bunch of things going on, but I couldn't do it. Like, whatever it was, I couldn't. Something happened, and she just looked at me and was like, I never knew, I never understood that this is how bad it was and how you were feeling. You know, when I was being yelled at as a child for not picking up my stuff, or not, you know, organizing something, or forgetting my books, or leaving my test home, or not remembering there was a thing until the next morning, or, you know, whatever. Sure, there's sometimes things that kids do, but it's the pattern, you know. It's the when this starts affecting your life, when this starts affecting, and it affected my life all through school. It affected everything.
Yeah.
But it also, and I want to know if you can relate to this too, because this is a revelation that I kind of just had. Do you find, and this is my thing for medication sometimes that gets me nervous, it also forced me to develop other habits that kind of made me who I am. And kind of good, like, in a social way. So I had to be more social and more friendly, because I knew I was going to be late, or I knew I was going to forget something. So I had to make sure that I had friends, because they had to help me, because I couldn't do it by myself. You know what I mean? And like, in that, so I developed those masks that kind of made me who I was, who I am, who I like, to a degree, until I feel like I'm drowning incessantly. But does that resonate with you at all?
No, it does. And that's, I think, I just reposted on my story. I'm going to mispronounce his name, but he's a doctor or a therapist or psychologist. And I like a lot of what he says. And it's crazy that we were doing this topic today, because he talks about ADHD and how it's developed as a child and where it comes from. And it says, according to what he said, is it's developed because we came from stressed out households. And so we had to adapt, because certain children are more sensitive. So we had to adapt to being kind of hypervigilant in a way in order to survive. But then what happens is that adaptive trait becomes maladaptive as we get older, right? Like you said, we then develop all of these other things that we're like, quote unquote, really good at. But the thing is, we don't know why we developed them. We just have them. And sure, like for instance, my anxiety as a broadcaster, I think makes me really good at forward thinking. So then I can always kind of be good at interviews, because I'm 10 steps ahead. But then, but then the maladaptiveness to that is I'm never really present. I'm always ahead, and I don't like that. You know, I'm always catastrophizing the future. What could go wrong? Oh my God, all of these things, right? And so that's not.
But you can still listen to what the person's saying, you know, and you can still be present in there, but like, you already know where it's going. You got to the ending. You got to where you are already. Because your brain works 10 times faster than normal people. And I don't mean normal, but then a neurotypical brain. Your brain works 10 times faster and is 10 steps ahead, which is not good when you need to put A and B and C together in a straight line.
Well, and it's not good in certain relationships, right? Because then the partner feels you're not listening to me, you're not being present, or whatever it is, or your children, you know, like, so I think at the end of the day, like, I do not have all the answers, but I am so grateful. I am so grateful you care enough about this life we live, because I think that's just hitting the iceberg. It's just saying, hey, because you would have never have known what this amazing puzzle in this incredible life you live, that so many you do, so like, people are just in adoration of your heart. You know, you give so much, which is another thing too. It's not a surprise that you're in this industry where you do take care of a lot of people. Like, you get energy from I do this. I feel so connected when I have like conversations like this, and I think it helps other people. So I so appreciate that you took the time today to deep dive into a topic that I think a lot of people are afraid to discuss, especially women, especially maybe moms. So you're amazing.
You are. I thank you. And I thank you for giving me the opportunity to start talking, because I haven't spoken about this. Like, I haven't, you know, I'll post a story here or there. Or I'll have a conversation with my Heather and Wally, thank you, with my clients. And but I'm very open about it. And I feel like that's the only way we're ever going to find answers and feel comfortable and feel at peace with who we are as people. And whoever doesn't understand it, they don't have to. You know what I mean? And that there's no forcing you to understand. I just have to understand it, and I have to express it. And whoever is going to understand it will, and whoever doesn't. You know what I mean? Like, there's, like you said, you know, anxiety. There's people who I'm sure were just like, do some deep breathing and you'll be fine. You know what I mean? Like, it's like categorizing depression as like, you're just a little sad. Like, go for a walk. Like, it'll be fine. People categorize ADHD like that. They categorize it like, oh, you know, just write it down. Just, you know, get a planner. That's great. I have it for a day, and I don't know where said planner went. Now what do I do? Now what?
I have the planner. I don't even know where it went.
I have 75.
That's my life. That is literally my life.
And we try so hard. You know, you try and you get do, and then you get so far, and then it's like, I need help.
It's so funny too, because like the text messages with friends, I'm like, how are you? Oh my God. Yeah. Then I have responsibility. It's so hard. I'm deeply invested in my friends and my friendships.
Tequila also helps. Yes. Tequila. Yes. Tequila also helps.
Okay. But before we let you go, we do need to get some skin tips. I'll let you go where you want to go, because we can talk winter skin tips. We can talk what's happening in your world now. I mean, you're all over the place. You have like one of the most amazing gifts you could give your loved ones. I'm talking sister, wife, girlfriend, mom, you name it. She will love Nicole's facial luxury ice set. It is amazing. So, and we can talk microneedling. What do you want to talk about, babe?
So this, I mean, I feel like, see, you and I can talk about everything for 9 hours. So if you guys got all day, like, we could sit here and do this all day. But, so these, oh my God. Okay. So if you guys know that I have my luxury facial ice sets, right? And so I wanted to kind of think of something. The same blends, they're powder blends that are icing serums that you use on the skin. And I've had the same ones for about, you know, a year and a half, I think it's been now. Yeah, about that. And I came out with new ones. And so I was trying to think of something fun and exciting to do with like the launch of them. And I was just sitting there daydreaming about things, as we often do. And I was like, wait a second, this is a spear. So this is the new holiday gifts you see behind me. It's on the tray behind me. So these are the brand new facial icing frozen serum blends that I've created. And inside this little guy is everything you need for facial icing at home. It comes with the new blends. It comes with your funnel. This is the mushroom blend, the new mushroom blend. Rishi, I got really into mushrooms and trying to figure out my brain. Yes, we've had conversations about this, and you know, and they're wonderful for your skin. And so this is my new Rishi mushroom, cordyceps, lion's mane. I mean, anti-inflammatory, take down the redness. It's beautiful. One is on its way to you, but you also get my glacial oil, which is beyond amazing for your icing over the oil. Okay, so the glacial oil is going to help to take down redness, and it's made to actually draw water from the cold, from the ice. It's found in the glaciers of Antarctica, and that's where it's from. And that's what it's made for. It's so, you're gonna love it. I'm so excited. But how cute! Like, how cute is this?
I mean, like, you never cease to amaze me. They look adorable. What a great holiday, like an ornament. And then you have such goodies inside. Come on.
Like, it's like, I mean, everybody, like, and like, it's $36. Like, it's not, you know what I mean? I wanted, yeah, that was like affordable. And that was like teacher gifts, friend gifts, anything that was just like, oh my God, how cute. Like, I always want to try and do something, you know, like, yes, luxury, but a nice gift for someone that makes you feel like I really, really thought of you, you know, and that's just what that's what I wanted to do with this. So I hope people
That's
like
amazing. And not only is it, I thought of you, you are also giving the gift of someone to prioritize their own self-care. So every time they pull out that ice sphere, that really does work. It lowers inflammation. I have adult acne, so I put it on and it works for adult acne. But every time I do it, I'm investing in, you know, whatever, 5 minutes, 10 minutes to myself. And then I feel good about it. So,
but you're also doing wonders for your brain. Wonders. You're doing wonders for stimulating the vagus nerve and calming down that central nervous system, which is shutting off your fight or flight, which having ADHD is literally all about. You're in constant fight or flight, and this is shutting off your fight or flight, whether we realize it or not, you know, and that's why it's so important and so amazing. And who knew that that, the icing that I was doing for people's skin, I was going to later find out was actually something that was helping in the calming down of the central nervous system. Yes.
See, I mean, you're multifaceted, girlfriend. And honestly, I feel so grateful I get time to chat with you. Thank you for making today's conversation not about skin, but about life. And then it became about skin. But like, honestly, that was you. You came on here and you're like, let's talk about a real issue and let's help people. So, I mean, babe, I really appreciate you. I love you so much.
Thank you.
You're changing the world, and I really appreciate everything.
You are. You gave me the platform, so thank you. You are. Thank you. Thank you for everybody that was here and that was part of it and that like kind of commented and stuff. And I'm so excited. And let's all be more vocal about this, about who we are as people. Let's just be vocal and be like, this is me, and that's it.
I love it. I love you, babe.
I love you.
See you soon. Let me know when you're in LA, and I'm gonna come visit you. Okay.
I will soon. Hopefully January. I love you.
Okay, baby. Okay.
Thank you, everybody.
Talk to you soon. Bye, you guys.